terrorist group is expected to top the agenda as President Obama welcomes the Nigerian leader to the White House for the first time. The U.S. is seeking to expand assistance to Nigeria in fighting the militants who have intensified their attacks since Mr. Buhari took office in May. A short time ago at the White House, Mr. Obama spoke about President Buhari's visit.
The people of Nigeria understand that only through a peaceful political process can change take place. President Buhari comes into office with a reputation for integrity and a very clear agenda, and that is to make sure that he is bringing safety and security and peace to his country.
Washington quickly reached out to new President Buhari upon his election victory in March and dispatched a U.S. Secretary of State, John Kerry, to his inauguration to underscore America's interest in working with his government. For more on Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari's visit to Washington, VOA's Aliyu Mustapha joins us live from the White House. Aliyu, welcome to the show.
Hi, Leonard. How are you doing?
Doing very well. Listen, obviously Boko Haram was top on the agenda during the discussion between both presidents. Tell us about that and also other topics that topped the agenda.
Well, you know, both countries have their plate full in terms of what they are going to be able to achieve in about 3 days. Muhammadu Buhari is coming to Washington with a lot of demands in his bag, and the United States is looking forward to starting what they call a fresh page in discussing these issues with Nigeria. You started to mention the issue of Chibok girls, the Boko Haram. Obviously, the security matter is at the top of the agenda. But in addition to the security, there's also going to be a lot of discussion on economy, on healthcare. A lot of investors from both countries are hoping to network with each other and see where they can go with their new relationship. But both countries need one another. The United States needs Nigeria, which is the giant of Africa, from any angle you look at it, economically, politically, socially. But Nigeria also absolutely needs the United States to be able to win the war against Boko Haram, to gain a foothold in the global affairs. Nigeria has been left behind in many areas. So both countries have so much to look forward to achieving in their discussion.
So a very important visit indeed for both countries, as you mentioned.
Yes, it is extremely important. As you know, the relationship between the United States and the last administration of Nigeria cannot be said to be absolutely great. So this is a chance for them to get back to work together, like President Obama pointed out. Muhammadu Buhari comes with integrity, and a lot of Nigerians have high expectations on what he should be able to resolve and what he can practically resolve in such a short time. Already, as you know, he has not formed his cabinet. Nigerians are getting a little bit impatient, but Buhari is assuring everybody that he needs time to see what has happened in the last 16 years. So he is coming to the United States, and because of the importance that the United States attaches to Nigeria, it is giving prominence to this visit. A lot of higher level officials are going to meet Muhammadu Buhari, including members on the Hill, business people, and political leaders.
So what else is on the agenda for President Buhari?
Well, Buhari is going to be meeting with Secretary of Commerce, Secretary of State, obviously, U.S. Trade Representative. He's already met former Secretary of State, Madeleine Albright. He's going to be meeting Nigerians, obviously, at the Nigerian Embassy, and he's going to meet the youth, and he's going to do a whole bunch of networking.
So very quickly then, what are the expectations for the Nigerian community here?
Oh my God, you know, Nigerians everywhere are looking, I mean, they have so much. First of all, he has to deal with the issue of security. That is the top for everybody. But also Nigeria is going through lack of power supply. The hospitals are in dilapidated position. And almost every sector of the economy needs some help from the new government, which is why a lot of Nigerians want him to get going as quickly as possible.
Okay, Aliyu, thank you so much for reporting.
You're welcome. Thank you, Leonard.
And that was Aliyu Mustapha reporting live from the White House. Now, all this week on Africa 54, we'll be talking about President Barack Obama's trip to Africa later in the week. It's Mr. Obama's fourth trip to Africa, where he will visit his father's homeland of Kenya, attend a global entrepreneurship summit in Nairobi, and meet with regional leaders at the African Union in Ethiopia. U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, will travel with the president. She discussed the trip on VOA's Straight Talk Africa program. VOA's Paul Cisco reports.
I stand before you as the President of the United States and a proud American. I also stand before you as the son of a man from Africa.
Building on progress made at the U.S. African Leaders Summit in Washington last summer, President Obama travels to Africa. He'll attend the Global Entrepreneurship Summit in Nairobi, Kenya on July 25th and 26th before moving on to Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa.
There are people who feel that perhaps, in fact, the president shouldn't be going to Addis Ababa. Why?
For us, the president's trip to Ethiopia is an important stop.